Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to install and set up the new Ollama desktop app so you can create your own private and local AI chat assistant right on your own computer. Imagine having your own private version of ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or your favorite AI chat assistant running in offline mode locally on your own computer if you are on an airplane, or even worse, if you're in an airport, which for some reason never seems to have Wi-Fi networks, or if you're hiking in the middle of nowhere with no cellular service, no internet connections, no problem. So if you can turn on your computer, you are able to interact with your chat assistant. You can drag and drop text files, upload PDF documents, get help writing your blog articles, social media posts, your YouTube video scripts, your podcast scripts. Oh, and by the way, Ollama, it is open source and at this time 100% free. You can download and install Ollama on macOS, Linux, and Windows. Ollama also includes multiple large language models, or LLMs, such as DeepSeek, Qwen, and Gemma, to name a few, and you have access to all of them at no additional cost. In the past, when you wanted to run Ollama locally on your machine, you typically did so through the command line or the Mac terminal. So you had to either be a developer or have some tech chops in order to use it, but now, thankfully to this new app, you can just download it and run it just like any other app on your computer. And just to make sure that we're on the same page and that everybody understands what Ollama is before we move forward, let's take a look at the Explain It Like I'm 5 description. Imagine you have this super smart robot friend, and your robot friend can talk to you, it can answer your questions, help you solve problems, it can help you write your content, brainstorm ideas. Now Ollama is like this magic box filled with a whole bunch of these really smart robots. And whenever you are working on your computer, you can simply reach inside of Ollama, your magic box, and select which robot you want to use for which task or which project. And no matter what information you share with your robot friends, mum is the word. Your sensitive information is private and won't be shared by your robots. To install Ollama, open a web browser and go to ollama.com. Click on the button Download. I'm on a Mac. Download for Mac OS. I'll run the installer by double-clicking on the .dmg file, and I'll drag Ollama into the Applications folder. And I'll double-click to open, click Open to accept, enter your Mac password, just like that. Ollama is open, running, and now I have a working chat assistant on my computer. How easy was that? This works just like any other AI chat assistant that I'm sure you're used to by now. You've got a sidebar which is going to show all of your chats over here. You can click New Chat. There's also a little icon if you want to create a new chat. You're going to type in here, and there are the different models that you can choose from. And just as an FYI, I never created an account on Ollama. I did not sign in. I just simply downloaded Ollama and I was able to start using it right away. Now if you wanted to create an account, you can click on sign in, click on create an account, and you'll see creating an account allows you to publish and share models. And to test out Ollama, I am going to use a real world example. I'm going to upload some PDF documents, then I'm going to chat back and forth with Ollama and see if it can help me with some content. I am relaunching my podcast, Mike Murphy Unplugged, which I started in September of 2015, so almost 10 years ago, but it had 161 episodes, and I want to restart it so I can start documenting my AI journey moving forward. Now, I love podcasting. I loved having a podcast. I was proud of my podcast. My podcast got me a full-time job at a tech company. But what I didn't love, and the main factor as to why I put my podcast aside, was writing the script each week was becoming this thing that I totally dreaded. It was becoming a burden, and I was not enjoying doing it each week. I'm older, I'm wiser, and I now have this magic box called Ollama, and it is filled with really smart robots. And I'm going to select the podcast robot and see if it can help me write my podcast script. The first thing I'll do is feed Ollama a PDF of an old podcast episode script. That way, Ollama can study and learn my writing style, the tone, and it can learn the structure and format of how I write each podcast episode. I am then going to enter in a text prompt instructing Ollama to analyze the old podcast script and then write a new podcast script. I'm including the outline of what I want to be in the new episode, and I'm going to say write a script using the old episode as a template or a guide. I'm going to drag and drop the PDF of the script. So now it's attached. Now I could just drag and drop this other PDF, but I'm just going to paste it in as text. I'm using the default Gemma 3.4, and I could try different models if I wanted to. I'm going to click upload. So first it's downloading the model. So each time you select a model, it's actually downloading the entire model to your computer. So in this case, the Gemma 3.4 is 3.1 gigabytes. And you are running AI models on your machine, so speed may be a factor depending on the type of device that you're doing it on. Okay, here's a full podcast script. It's delivering. I had the opening hook, the introduction. I formatted it exactly how I write it each week, and it looks like it's following through. Well, the first thing I'll say is that writing a podcast script this way, much easier than it was before. And now I can just chat back and forth and fine-tune the script until I get it the way that I want it. Since there are no additional costs for me to use the different models, now what I can do is just download different models. I can try out DeepSeek, try out Quinn, compare it to the results that I got here with Gemma, and then I can just select the model that gave me the best results and just use that one moving forward. While I was editing this tutorial on Ollama, OpenAI, the founders of ChatGPT, made a huge announcement. They just released 2 open models. These models you can customize and run anywhere, meaning you can run these OpenAI models on your local computer using something like Ollama. If you already have Ollama installed on your computer before watching this tutorial, the easiest way to get access to these OpenAI models is just re-download the Ollama app. Just replace your existing Ollama app with the newest version, and the OpenAI models should be available in the dropdown. And if you haven't yet installed Ollama on your computer, but you are going to after watching this tutorial, there's nothing additional that you need to do. When you download Ollama from their site, that's always going to give you the latest version, and when you open it and run it, click the drop down, you'll see 2 OpenAI models. They start with GPT. You're going to want the GPT-20B. That's the medium model. Most laptops and desktops can handle this. The 120B is kind of for the supercomputers, the data centers. So in most cases, you're going to want to use this 20B. That's the one that I'll be using. And that is how to set up and use the Ollama app so you can create your own private AI chat assistant that lives on your computer, doesn't require an internet connection to work, and is completely free. My name is Mike Murphy. Cheers.